Welcome to today's explainer. Let's take a little trip together, shall we? Imagine zooming all the way from the deep, dark vacuum of outer space straight down into the vibrant, beautiful blue of our planet. Today, we're going to explore the massive, interconnected systems that make up the very surface of Earth. I'm talking about our oceans and our continents. We're going to see exactly how they shape our climate, support wild ecosystems, and ultimately, how they sustain our very lives. Back in 1870, the legendary writer Jules Verne really hit the nail on the head. He wrote, "The ocean is everything. It covers 7/10 of the terrestrial globe. Its breath is pure and healthy." I love kicking things off with this thought because it just instantly sparks that sense of wonder about the sheer vastness of the sea. Even over a century ago, people completely understood that our world basically begins and ends with the ocean. It's the ultimate reservoir of nature. When you actually look at Earth from an astronaut's perspective, like the breathtaking view captured by the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, it becomes incredibly obvious why early space explorers affectionately dubbed it the Blue Planet. That overwhelming splash of blue is all water. When you see the Pacific Ocean dominating the view, with Africa, Asia, Australia, and Antarctica just kind of peeking out from the edges, the true massive scale of our oceans is just undeniable. It's a staggering reality. Almost 3/4 of our entire planet's surface is covered by water. Just a little over 1/4 is land. It really puts our terrestrial lives into perspective, doesn't it? We spend our entire lives walking around on that tiny 25% slice, while the vast majority of the globe is this completely different aquatic world. Section 1. Meet the Blue Planet. If we split the globe into hemispheres, you'll see a pretty wild imbalance. The water isn't distributed evenly at all. The northern hemisphere holds significantly more of our land masses. But look at the southern hemisphere. It is almost entirely blue, just completely dominated by the ocean. And this uneven distribution, it plays an absolutely massive role in driving our global climates and weather patterns. Section 2. Our interconnected oceans. So we generally talk about 5 major oceans. You've got the Pacific, which is the largest, followed by the Atlantic, the Indian, the Southern, and finally the smallest, which is the Arctic Ocean. But here's the crucial thing to remember. While we draw these neat little lines on our maps to separate them, nature doesn't care about our boundaries. Seawater flows freely and constantly across all of them. They are naturally deeply interconnected into one giant global ocean. And because all this water is linked, it sustains an absolutely stunning variety of life that spans across the entire globe. We generally break this down into 2 big buckets. First, marine flora. This is the plant life, ranging from tiny microscopic algae all the way to massive underwater forests of seaweed. Then you have marine fauna, which is the animal life, and that includes everything from the tiniest, most colorful little fish right up to massive deep-sea creatures. Every single layer of the ocean, from the sunlit surface down to the pitch-black depths, has its own diverse life forms. You've got playful dolphins leaping effortlessly from the waves, and beautifully ancient sea turtles gracefully navigating the deep blue. And let's not forget the sheer scale of some of these creatures. These interconnected waters provide a home for some of the largest animals to ever exist on Earth. Just look at these magnificent sperm whales, a massive mother and her baby swimming together. It's a fantastic reminder of how much life is thriving out there in the deep. But hey, it's not just the open water that's alive. The ocean floor itself is a thriving ecosystem. Think of coral reefs as these bustling, colorful underwater cities. They provide food, shelter, and breeding grounds for literally thousands of different species of marine flora and fauna. It's like a highly complex, beautifully organized metropolis down there. Section 3. Counting the continents. Now, if I asked you how many continents there are on Earth, you'd probably think it's a simple question, right? Well, actually, depending on geographic, historical, and cultural definitions, we can legitimately count anywhere from 4 to 7 distinct continents. For example, Europe and Asia form a single massive continuous landmass. Combine them, and you get Eurasia. The same logic applies to North and South America. However, the 7-continent model, which separates Africa, Antarctica, Asia, Australia, Europe, North America, and South America, that's the one most widely adopted and used around the world today. But the land isn't just massive continents. The oceans are dotted with countless islands. Some are absolutely huge. Take Greenland, for instance. It is the world's largest island. You would literally have to combine the areas of several large states just to match its size. On the flip side, countries like India have an intricate network of over 1,300 much smaller islands.
That includes major groups like the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, as well as the Lakshadweep Islands.
Section 4, the ocean's deep impact. All right, having explored both the land and the sea, let's zoom back out. We need to understand how these massive oceans actually dictate life for those of us living on dry land. Here is a vital number you absolutely need to know: 50%. More than 50% of the world's oxygen is produced by marine flora, those tiny oceanic plants and algae we talked about earlier. The ocean is literally breathing for us. It's the true lungs of our planet. Seriously, every second breath you take comes directly from the ocean. On top of that, the oceans are the engine driving our entire water cycle. Those massive clouds you see in satellite photos, they carry vital rain to the continents. For example, the crucial summer monsoon rains in Asia originate entirely over the ocean. Let's be totally clear here. Without the oceans, there would be no rainfall, and the entire Earth would be nothing but an uninhabitable, barren desert. But as much as the ocean gives life, we have to fiercely respect its immense power. The ocean can unleash absolutely devastating events. We're talking violent storms, cyclones, and massive underwater earthquakes that can trigger giant tsunamis. Take the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, for example. Triggered by an earthquake in Indonesia, it caused widespread devastation across 14 countries, tragically claiming over 2 lakh lives. It is a stark, heartbreaking reminder of the ocean's formidable strength and exactly why early warning systems and disaster management are so incredibly vital for us. Section 5. Protecting our waters. So, knowing all of this, the life-giving nature and the sheer power of the sea, brings us to a harsh reality about our relationship with the ocean today. Despite everything it does for us, human activity is severely threatening this fragile balance. Scientific studies show we are dumping millions of tons of plastic waste into the ocean every single year. It's literally choking marine life and poisoning the waters. Add to that the extreme pressure of overfishing, which is rapidly wiping out fish populations, and it is crystal clear that the entire marine environment is under serious threat. Things have gotten so critical that the United Nations actually designated June 8th as World Oceans Day. It's specifically placed on the calendar to emphasize that protecting this environment isn't just someone else's problem, it is our collective responsibility. It's a day to remind all of us that the ocean is a major source of food, medicine, and a critical part of our biosphere that we simply cannot afford to lose. As we wrap up today's explainer, from the vacuum of space all the way down to the vibrant coral reefs, I want to leave you with a thought. Knowing that the ocean is quite literally the lifeblood of Earth, what actions will you take to protect the lungs of our planet? Think about your daily habits, your plastic use, and your awareness of the natural world. How are you going to step up? Thank you so much for joining me today, and I really hope you never look at the blue parts of our map the same way again.